Hello and welcome back to MotoGP 23, and today I thought I'd check out the live GP feature which is new to the game. So without any further ado, let's head into it then, because as far as I'm aware, how it works is there's going to be sort of multiple races in the day. So here we are then, introduction to the live GP mode. With live GP, you'll have the chance to compete in online races against other players of your same rank. Race schedule. Every week there's a race schedule. Enter the game at the event starting time, pass the qualifiers, and race against your opponents. Climb the standing. Depending on your final position, you'll be assigned a score that will determine your rank and place in the standing. So do we have to do a bit of a qualifier race? And let's have a look here. So we've got select a server, so Europe and Africa, Asia and Oceania, or the Americas. Well, we'll go with Europe and Africa, of course, because I am in Great Britain, so obviously I've got to go on the European servers. And it looks like we've missed the first event because that was actually at 2 PM UK time. Milestone did actually post when all of the races were going to be, but I guess it was European time because it said 3 o'clock, but it is actually 2 o'clock, so we are about an hour late, unfortunately. I hadn't really factored that in at all, so we've got to kind of twiddle our thumbs till 5 o'clock, but we could at least have a look around here. So we can change the team, so you have to play as your own rider. That's interesting. I guess that makes sense, in fairness. Obviously, we had LCR selected to begin with, and it does seem like we can select every team. I wasn't sure whether we'd be restricted based on our rank or something. So we may as well go with the Ducati, at least for the first round, since it will be quite competitive. We look at the leaderboards here. You can see Bronze 3. So Fadlor's in second place there. Simo Piova in third. So a couple of names I do recognise here. Rico Way as well. Don't seem to really recognise any of the other names on here. Or Fuchs at the bottom here. Obviously the esports rider himself. So there's only 29 people on the leaderboard. But basically it looks like here then you've got your rank displayed, obviously your username, the number of races you've done, and the number of wins you've got. Now, quite how it's ranked, I'm not sure, because you can see obviously this German guy is top of the standings with 1 race, 1 win. Second place is Fadlor with 1 race, 0 wins. But then below him is Simo Piova with 1 race, 1 win. So I don't exactly know how it's going to work, because surely if you've won the race, you should be ahead of someone that hasn't won the race. So it does make me wonder whether it is based on time rather than position. Would make sense, because obviously I suppose every single race is going to be different. So we can also look at our own statistics as well. So let's have a little look at that. Obviously we've not done any races, so current rank Bronze 3, best rank Bronze 3, favourite manufacturer, most wins on track, obviously races 0, qualifying 0. So it seems like for now we can't really do anything because we've missed the boat here with the time. So I guess I'll have to come back later and see how we get on. So we've not got long left to wait now. I actually have waited all the time now. I did go record another video and then just went and did some other stuff. I didn't just sit on the menu waiting for 2 hours, just to be clear. But we've got a minute left to go then, so I'm not exactly sure how this is going to work. I don't actually know how I'm going to handle this series yet. I don't know if I'm just going to do it once a week or just do it every so often. I'm not too sure. But I do think I am going to just change team for every race so that we get through all the different teams and we can try and rise our way up through the ranks. Obviously, if we look at the ranks, it actually does change a little bit here. You can see Fuchs has now got 4 races, and the next highest guy has only got 1. So you can see there is obviously a way to play more races by changing the server, which again is potentially something that we can do. So I think it's going to be pretty difficult to be right at the top, because I think people are probably going to be playing this mode a lot more than me, because they're just going to be constantly on this mode, whereas I'm going to be on lots of different things. Obviously career mode, MotoGP Academy as well was something I was trying out earlier. I think that video will probably come later, but that was something I was trying. So I've got to spread myself across it. And obviously just normal online lobbies as well, which I assume are separate from live GP. But here we are then. We've got 1 second to go. There we go. Event 2 has begun. So let's choose to participate in Event 2. And we're joining into Event 2. Player aggregation in process. So here we are then in the live GP mode, actually on track. I've got a number 26. In fact, actually number 76. On the front of the bike. I think that's just because I haven't uploaded my number online, so that'll be the default, so do apologise for that one. This is the first time I've actually looked at the setup screen for the MotoGP class, so we can actually change between both bikes. But I think for now, we will just head out onto the circuit, because I've only done a few laps at Bud, so I don't really know it that well, if I'm completely honest. So we probably will get thrashed a little bit compared to some of these other guys, and I can see they've all done sort of flying laps. So here we are for our qualifying lap, well our first one anyway. We've got 7 minutes, so we should have enough time to do a few. So I have to realize that Aki is in here, and I'm pretty sure he's an esports rider, so I don't think we're going to be winning today in live GP, unfortunately. That is obviously the thing that does make it quite difficult, is that when you're trying to play online, most of the time you will come across very fast people, just because there's not that much of a player base. It's not like the F1 game, for example, where you'll quite often find a lobby where there's not really that many good people in it. But especially as the life cycle goes on, a lot of the people that are playing MotoGP Online are pretty handy at the game, at least in terms of lap time anyway. Sometimes they can be a little bit questionable on the racecraft. But up towards the line then, what are we going to do? How far are we going to be off him? That probably should be the finish line, I'd imagine. But up towards the line then, 46, we're like 3.2 seconds off him. And that is P3. We've gone massively wide at turn 1. So we're going to have to probably back off and go for another one. Although, to be honest, I don't think I've got enough fuel. So I'm just going to head back to the pits and probably come out again. I probably should have been on soft tyres for that as well. I've just thought. So let me try that. And that might work a little bit better for qualifying. I keep messing up my braking point to turn 1. I've had to like retry this up like 3 times. It's a really tricky corner because it looks like you could brake quite late for it, and you feel like you should be able to, but I always overshoot it. It doesn't even matter that it's this game because it happens with GP bikes to me as well whenever I'm trying to play this circuit. So it does help that I do know the layout because of that, because I've played it in GP bikes before. I'm sure there'll be plenty of people that haven't ever played the circuit before. I also know it from the F1 games back in the day, but obviously, you know, driving an F1 car around a circuit is very different to riding a MotoGP bike. MotoGP bike, obviously, much slower, and obviously much more of a penalty if you do make a mistake. Whereas if you lock a wheel in F1, you go a little bit wide, lock a wheel on MotoGP, you're hitting the deck, and you're losing quite a bit of time. So here we are then, up towards the line. We've found over a second on this lap, so that should put us into the 45s, 45.1. We do improve in time, but not in position. But we're in a pretty safe 4th place there, 3.5 seconds. Although that is the kind of lap where it's easily beaten by the person once they do start to improve. So we did end up 4th place at the end of the session then. Didn't seem like anybody else particularly changed. I think it's going to be an interesting race for us because we've not got the pace of the guys in front, but we've pretty easily got our number over everybody behind. So I think it's just going to be a case of me trying to do the best lap times I can, just try and stay near those really fast guys and hope that maybe they do crash. So we're down on the grid then. And for tyres, I think medium. It's recommending a hard, but I don't know, because it's an 8-lap race, and I feel like the front might overheat. So maybe it is better to try and use the hard front tyre, but I feel like the medium was okay, but then I feel like I'll really regret it if the medium starts to overheat. Tell you what, we'll go with the hard compound. That's what's recommended. I don't know what everybody else is on. I don't know if there's a way to look what everybody else is on. It doesn't seem like it. Otherwise, I probably would actually just go with what the top guys were on. But of course, there doesn't seem to be any way for us to look. So we'll go to track, we'll ready up and get ready for this race to start. I'm quite interested because this is the first online race I'm doing at all on the game. First online race on this live GP mode. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. It's a bit more serious, longer races, qualifying sessions. Whereas usually when you hop online, it's 3-5 lap races or whatever. And it's pretty hectic. Everyone's sort of dive bombing each other. If your race don't go too well, you know, in a few minutes you'll be into a new one anyway. Whereas this is a bit more commitment to it. So I'm hoping that should be a bit more serious. I like the little cutscene though. It's actually different to the single player one. So it pans across, shows us everybody's names. It kind of reminds me a bit more of the esports one. Oh, it's actually showing everybody because there's me now in 4th place. Tyres will be freezing by the time we actually get started. So we've got Bizet here in 6th position. He's got the special gold showy that you get when you've got MotoGP 22 as well as MotoGP 23. Right, so here we are then. Ride-out device is on. The lights are on. Waiting for them to get here for our first race in live GP. The lights out and away we go. We've got to be careful on the run into turn 1. Make sure we don't overshoot because I've made so many mistakes into turn 1 already, and someone else has absolutely dived in. Well, quite a few people dived in. We've been hit by a Repsol Honda rider there, but we're up to 4th place. It looks like Aki was taken out there by, I think it was Bizet on the Yamaha. Fabio looking at the inside, trying to take the lead from Kill Denied. We've got Looking in front of us on the Repsol Honda. We did have a bit of pace over him. I got to say, that Dayanese suit on that Repsol Honda is looking pretty rough. That's not looking very good, especially considering that Jean Mir literally uses Dayanese. So why they haven't just reused his suit and taken his name off it, I have no idea. But it does look a little bit rough, it must be said. But I'll tell you what, considering that we had 3 seconds on this guy, he's kept in front of us now. I kind of expected him to blow the corner and he'd brake that much later than me. So I think we're going to struggle. Oh, that's a shame because I went to the outside when really I probably shouldn't have done because he was running really wide. So let's see, what can we do? Can we try and find our way through in this little chicane section? We've only got 2 seconds back to Aki, you see. He's already fallen off, but he's not that far behind us. And there's a mistake there. Someone's through the gravel. I think it might be Flavio. So we're up into P3 now. So we're attacking, looking for P2. I did say it would be one of these races where you just got to try and keep your pace. and you let the faster guys make all of their own mistakes. And potentially get long lap penalties as well, because obviously track limits will be a thing in a race as long as this. Oh, the front had gone then completely. Right, I need to try and pass a look in as soon as possible, because I feel like he is holding me up a decent amount now. I need to change my power mode actually as well. I've just realised I'm -2 laps of fuel, so that's not an ideal position to be in at any point in a race. We've completely blown turn 1, so I did say I was struggling with that one. I'm trying to make sure I come back on the track safely and behind looking. But I tell you what, that first corner braking zone is a right pain. And oh, we've been sat up by Aki. That was aggressive. I was looking to maybe go for a pass on looking, and actually it was Flavio, it wasn't Aki at all. Looks like Aki's had his own mistake again, because he's now 6 seconds behind, but we're back past Flavio. Really, that move just cost him completely on the exit, going that aggressive on the inside. So we're back up into 3rd place. But I must say, the guy in the lead's actually not pulling away by as much as I thought. And this rap's a Honda rider. It's actually pretty fast, considering he was 3 seconds off me in qualifying. We might finally have the move on him here. I think we have. So up into P2. It's a Factory Ducati 1-2 by the looks of it. But I'm just going to try and run my own pace. I'm not going to try and hunt him down, because I think that's just going to go wrong. We've had contact with Flavio now. My rider's sticking out his hand. Oh, sorry, Flavio. I was understeering a bit into him. There's a little bit of lag as well, which I'm a bit wary of. He's on the inside. A little bit of contact again there, but fair enough. It's been all alright so far. I'm actually just trying to run my lines here, but every time I'm trying to just turn into the corner, he's there. He's just virtually running me up the back. And I think he's just gone down behind us, actually. So I don't know whether he hit it because he hit me or whether because he hit the curb. So I do apologise for the right-hander when I sort of understeered into him, but I was just trying to go through the corner and he was trying to overtake me, so there was a little bit of contact. But yeah, he seemed to hit me up the back through that right, the really fast one, and down he went. So then, we're 3 seconds off the race leader. He did just make a bit of a mistake at turn 1. You can see we are pulling away from looking by quite a bit now, because now that we've got some clear air, we can sort of do our own times again. So I'll see, the gap's just come down to 1.9. So I'll just keep trying to do my times, make sure I don't make any mistakes, and we might be able to actually reel him in a bit here. We're definitely making inroads here on the race leader. Whether he's just backing off a little bit so that he, one, doesn't make a mistake, and two, so he can have a battle or something, I'm not really sure, but we definitely are catching him by quite a bit, although he's just gained a lot on us in the last corner. I'm sure he was about 3 seconds in front of us starting this lap, and he's only 1.5. We're just on the fastest lap of the race, so probably does indicate that we are running pretty quickly, although to be fair, we're about the only rider that's just kept it upright so far by now, and that's got to be a track limits warning. Apparently it's not, so it seems like the track limits are not very strict at the circuit. I'm not going to abuse it, of course, but we got very lucky with that one, because I definitely would have marked myself as a track limits warning on this for that one. I don't think there's actually a long lap here, though. I did look in the game files earlier and it did say it was 0, no long lap, so I don't think they've actually implemented the long lap here, so it would be a 3-second penalty if you were to pick anything up, I believe. Again, though, there lost a bit of time. It looks like he's picked up his pace now, kill denied. He's obviously seen that he's been caught up, and he's started to push on a bit more again. Oh, we've made a huge error. What am I even doing? I'm going all the way to the F1 layout around the outside. I got on the throttle too early. I had to go through the gravel, coming back onto the circuit. And we've lost a decent chunk of time there. Flavio is now all over the back of us, so hopefully he could try and battle us in a bit of a better manner, but we completely bottled that one. I do apologise, guys. I don't think we were going to win anyway, because it looked like he picked up his pace by quite a bit, but that definitely threw away any chance we had. I mean, we might have still had a chance at second place, to be honest, but I think now that Flavio's right behind us, unless he makes another mistake, he's going to beat us, and you can't really rely on people making mistakes, particularly when they've already made them. And he might be a bit angry, because he might think that I had him off earlier when he hit me up the back or something. So you always have to be wary of that as well when you've had an incident with another rider, even if you don't feel it was your fault, which I don't think it was, because I was just ahead of him and he ran me up the back. They might still be a bit angry about it. And he was really aggressive as well when he did catch me last time, obviously the hairpin. So there is that too. That crash noise gets annoying because it plays every time somebody crashes, and in online there's a lot of crashes. Oh, Flavio's going for it again. Don't know why he keeps going for it in such strange places. Just wait for a bit more of a normal corner and try and make the pass instead of trying to do it in a chicane that's a high speed one, not just a normal chicane. Because I'm not even trying to defend from him, I'm just trying to ride my own lines. I'm probably not going to fight him too much because he's a lot faster than me. Here he is, he might get me here. I mean, that was, again, a bit needlessly aggressive from him. He put me right on the curb, but I did say he might be a bit annoyed. Maybe we can try and toe onto the back of him now. Oh, I've just had an accident. Never mind. That was a weird crash. That's probably just cost us third place to Aki, has it? Just about. He's right there. And we've got a Lookin, who is still in there. He's obviously managed to not fall off yet. That was such a strange crash because I wasn't even pushing. I was just riding sort of normally into that corner and just the bike just sort of flipped me off. That's annoying because I was trying to take my time. Although now I've just really braked way too late for that. Although I've got it stopped, so fair enough. But I'll tell you what, we're not even going to finish on the podium now. I am pretty gutted by that. Because we've got, what, over 2 laps to go to keep someone that was way quicker than us behind. And we just made another mistake as well. And there he comes. Up the inside. It is difficult to pull a clean pass here, although he has just absolutely mugged me off there. Like I said, I think he might be an esports rider. If not, he's definitely on the high level, guys, because I've seen his name about plenty of times before. So we've really got to pray for a mistake from one of the 3 in front, but it's just not going to happen, I don't think. I made too many of my own. I ran off through the gravel, obviously. I had that crash. And the gravel one was so weird because I was just going through the corner. I picked up the throttle, the bike picked itself up, and I was suddenly just going way too fast. I knew I was just going to fold the front if I tried to turn in anymore or tried to go to the brakes, so I just picked the bike up to see anything I could do. Although, in fairness, rightfully on pace, we were 4th. They were quicker than me, obviously in qualifying by a decent margin, but like I said, my plan was to try and stay on the bike, and unfortunately we kind of failed to do that. Yes, I picked up my first track limits warning. I don't know where I was going. I got distracted. Oh! Aki's down! Aki has bottled it, so we actually just got ourselves back up onto the podium. And to be fair, with a lap to go, if we keep it clean, we might have this one in the bag. Although it is 3 seconds. Ah, and there's been another crash! Oh, it's worse Durst. It's somebody a lap down. I saw an Aprilia down then for a second. Got really excited thinking it might be Flavio, but doesn't seem to be. There is another yellow flag, but it's worse Durst again. Worse Durst does seem to be struggling so far in this this race. I saw him crash quite a few times in qualifying as well. But to be fair, it's a pretty damn difficult game to get used to. There we are then, 6.1 seconds behind Flavio starting the last lap. We've got a big enough lead, 3.4 over Aki behind. So as long as we don't make any mistakes, this should be our 3rd place and our first podium in our first live GP race. But there you go then, Kill Denied wins. Myself in 3rd place, Flavio in 2nd. So we're going to take 3rd place here then at our first live GP race. So Kill Denied wins then ahead of Flavio in 2nd position. Myself in 3rd. Aki actually had a penalty and finished in 4th. I don't know how he managed to get a penalty at that circuit. The only time I actually picked up a track limits warning was when I went miles off because, well, I was looking at the graphics, to be honest. I ended up all the way out on the green. I'm hoping we don't lose points for that, but we probably will lose some sort of live GP points for that one. And I think that's it. It seems like Lookin must have had a pretty bad last lap because he was right behind Aki. So actually, no, he didn't. It just still said he was in progress anyway, even though he'd actually finished the race clearly. But a 43.6 then, fastest lap of the race to Aki compared to my 45.1. So definitely some super fast people here. But here we are in Part Ferme then. Lovely to see these online animations also in the game that did add in a patch. I think it was MotoGP. Might be MotoGP 21 actually, they added it in, but one of the previous games they did add it. And we've got another little cutscene here. I guess this is a live GP specific one because, of course, we have got on the podium, so we do deserve some little cutscenes there. We earned 28 points, which hasn't put us up a rank at all. But there you go, that's it then. 2 hours till, well, 2.5 hours again till the next event. So that's pretty much where I will leave this one. So let me know, guys, what you thought of the new live GP mode, our first race on it. I made so many mistakes, so I do apologise, but I don't really know Bud that well. I know I said I knew the layout for GP bikes, but learning it in the MotoGP game is still a different kettle of fish. The curbs are different, you know, different areas are different, the physics are different. Still trying to learn the MotoGP game as well, although I'm getting more comfortable with it now that I have had it for a few days and starting to sort of get in the groove a little bit more. Also, let me know how you want me to go about doing this series, if you just want me to do it once a week or just want me to do it more often. I also thought about maybe doing live streams with it, but I might do some test live streams to see quite how well I can stream and how stable everything is, especially with online gameplay, so that is all still up in the air. But if you are new to the channel, please do like the video and subscribe because there'll be plenty more MotoGP 23 game content coming your way. So if you like MotoGP 23, this is definitely the place to be. But like I said, I hope you guys did enjoy that one. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Hope you're all staying safe, and I shall see you in the next one.